Hi, second or like the first formal episode of our podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about ways in which we practice self-care and self-love in the midst of a pandemic. And we hope that just our tips and our personal experiences can help remind you or give you an idea of ways to take care of yourself and be patient with yourself during these hard times. So I'm gonna start. Give me a second.
I'm so excited to see her cat.
What's really helping me during the pandemic has been like my kitten. She's really impatient, so I'm gonna let her go now. But I adopted her. I fostered her while I was on campus and ended up bringing her home with me. And I think it was really helpful to have like this like little new companion with me during when everything like was shut down, just because at least for me, it was really hard to maintain like a schedule and like take care of myself just when everything was like thrown off the rails. But when like having to like feed her and like get up and like take care of someone else, I think was an important reminder that I also needed to take care of myself. So I also think it's like a really good way to like stay connected with nature, even though sometimes we weren't like allowed to go outside or we were like in lockdown. So she's been helping me take care of myself in a weird way. And that's one way in which I practice self-care.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute.
Can she walk outside? Like, is she like with a leash or like free roam?
Yeah, when she was smaller, she wouldn't like run away. I would take her outside with me when I would like go garden, and she would just like sunbathe. But now that she's like older and she like wants to run away, I take her out. So yeah, sometimes like we go out and she's like on her leash, but she's like not a big fan of it. So she just likes to watch birds like from the window.
What's her name?
Her name is Sue. And by the way, my name is Andrea. I'm a senior at Scripps.
That's so cute. So I'm Megan. I'm a sophomore and I use she, her pronouns. So today I brought my postcards, which I've been sending to my friends throughout quarantine, and then I have these little stamps. Just like I just bought them. They have little fishies on them, and it's just been a way for me to like connect with my friends because it's just so hard to check in with people via like text or like just in a virtual setting. And I find that writing letters or and sending them to my friends is just like a much better like a meaningful connection to make. And like just the amount of effort and like time that goes into like the process of choosing like a design for the postcard and then like handwriting the letter, like buying the stamps and choosing the design for it and then mailing it out and then waiting for everyone to like for it to arrive at everyone's different like locations. It's just like a really I think fun way for me to just reconnect and check in with all of my friends, and I hopefully it's like more meaningful than just getting like a simple text through their phone. But yeah, I mean I've always really liked writing letters, so writing postcards over quarantine has been just like a fun activity for me to just keep in touch.
Yeah, that's like really thoughtful, dude. I might just start doing that too. That's really cute.
Yeah, you totally should.
I love that. I'm wondering, do you like when you write like your postcard, what do you say? Is it different than like texting them? Do you text them while you're like even like when a postcard is in transit?
Yeah, I mean, like I usually check in with my friends through text, but then in my postcards I write a like longer message about like what they mean to me and like our friendship, what I miss the most about them, and like spending time with them, and just like everything that I'm so grateful for, like just having them in my life, and I write all of that like specifically for like each person on the postcard.
So sweet. I love that.
Yeah, my object was my planner. During this quarantine, I just had a lot of time to be with my thoughts. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should start journaling. Like that would probably be a good little hobby. So I picked up journaling, and I literally just write like whatever comes to mind. I write so sloppy, and I'm like, you know what, I'm such a perfectionist, but when it comes to journaling, sorry, a car was passing by. But when it comes to journaling, I'm like, you know what, let me just, write it how it comes out. And it's also just having a planner as well, where you can write your thoughts in and where you can plan out your days. It's just really convenient because I just need something to hold me accountable, especially during these weird times, because I'm like, you know what, like, should I do homework? I'm like, no, yes, you have to do homework, because after that you have a meeting, and after that, you have to do this as well. So it's just been a great tool, especially because I procrastinate a lot, and I've been trying to get rid of that just bad habit. And I feel like organizing myself and starting assignments early is a form of self-love, because you're doing it for the future you, for the sake of your for the sake of you just not stressing over assignments and things that should not be that stressful. So yeah, this has definitely been my best friend.
Is that a passion planner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved it. They gifted us one first gen like last year, and I loved it. I didn't use it as much because I already had a planner. Yeah, I love it. It's good.
How often do you journal?
Honestly, like when there's no like set time. I usually try to do it like at night when I'm done with my day. But usually just like whenever I feel like it, like maybe in the morning I'm like, you know what, I should journal. I just feel like I need to get something off my chest. Or I just feel like I, need to put it down on paper because there's so many thoughts in my head, and then I do it, and I make lists, and I just write how I'm feeling, honestly, whatever comes to mind. Like even if it's like the most random, like weirdest things, like it just helps write it down. It makes you feel so much better. Yeah, I definitely recommend this. Just get a paper, even on your notes on your iPhone, or your phone, like just write down your thoughts. It's important. Yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah. I love that so much. I feel like journaling is so helpful, and like it helps you get in touch with your emotions and like how you're feeling. And it's also just like a way for you to in the future look back on like who you were and like see the amount of growth and like how much you've changed from like this point in your life. So it's super cool.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. I don't usually look back at my thoughts because I'm like, oh my God, cringy. That's so cringy. But it's really funny, and it's just fun to oh my God, I was there, like I was in that space, and now I'm like so much better, It's just, I don't know, I think it's beautiful because you kind of just keep like a physical copy of your growth, kind of like that, it's cool to just see. Yeah, so yeah, I definitely recommend for anyone to do this. Like, anyone, like even kids, it's good to, make that a habit for kids so they can be better at it themselves as well.
Yeah, that's so true.
I think your like planner is also like a really good reminder that sometimes like self-care, self-love isn't like roses and rose-colored lenses. Like sometimes it means like forcing yourself to do stuff that you've been like procrastinating on, or doing something that makes you uncomfortable, or just like getting your life organized because that's gonna, like, even though it's hard, because that that's gonna benefit you in the long term. So I really like that.
Yeah, that's so true, dude. That's so true.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear from you too, because I was never like a journaler, but this past summer, just because I had so much time, I also picked up my passion planner from Scripps and started like taking notes of what I'm doing every day, and it's been nice to like kind of go back and look at, how I spent my summer, it's kind of like, like a time capsule of this weird period of time that we're in as well. And I think one of the things that I really enjoyed looking at, or I was just flipping through it, and I've been like hiking a lot this past summer, which leads into my object. It's this cap, and for those of you listening in, it's just a dark blue cap with like the city logo from the Golden State Warriors. And yeah, I've been wearing, now it's getting colder, so I don't really need a cap as much. There's not as much sun, but I've been wearing this cap almost every day. And I was just looking at my passion planner and looking at like every day I would like go to like a different place. I was exploring like the natural preserves around the San Francisco Bay Area. So if you're around here, I highly suggest you check those out because they're so beautiful and so unique. And I think just like going outside and making sure that I could like recalibrate myself in nature was really helpful. Like having a breath of fresh air, feeling refreshed after, like exercising and hiking. And I also just got to spend a lot of time thinking, and like, I don't know, it's like there's this like gratitude you have for nature. Like even though so many crazy things are happening, it's like it's still all there, it's so beautiful. And so many of these beautiful places withstood like the wildfires that were happening. But it's also like, in some sense, a good thing for the wildfires to like burn like the old trees so that new things can grow. So it's just been like a really good experience for me to get out of my house and like go hiking, social distance. And yeah, just give myself some like time to really reflect on what's been happening. Yeah.
It's funny because, I would have picked up journaling like before if I knew how much it's helped me now. But yeah, it's crazy that it took quarantine for me to actually pick up this habit. And I think that, quarantine has given us the opportunity to just do things that we wouldn't do normally in our, like really busy and lives and our routines. So yeah, I definitely feel more in touch, even with nature. Yeah, like coming out here, I never used to come out in my front yard because I just didn't have time, or I was too busy with homework, or I was just not paying attention to my surroundings as much. But now quarantine, it's kind of like slowed down the pace in a way, and I'm like, you know what, let me go outside, let me go pet Luna, which is like my cat. I don't know where he's at right now. He's in a cat. But yeah, definitely picking up just things that you wouldn't normally do when you were having those busy lifestyles back then in the past normal.
Yeah,
my cat's name is Luna too. Sorry, I just have to share.
Where is that?
Girl, she's on her own right now. She wants to do her own thing, but
oh, my Luna's good. Yeah,
so cute. Okay. So yeah, I can share mine. So Abby, senior, she, her pronouns. So I feel a little embarrassed talking about mine now. Okay. Okay, so I'm not a gamer, but I got a Nintendo Switch to play Animal Crossings because I really wanted to. I feel like everyone was talking about it, so I also wanted to be a part of it. And so, yeah, I really liked it. I feel like I haven't done it in a bit just because school, but last night I started playing it again because I was thinking about the podcast this morning, and it was just so fun. I love, like, it's such a meaningless kind of task that you can sit down and like fish or like plant some trees or like pick up weeds and like visit your friends on like different islands, but yeah, it was just like a good task to like not think about all the hecticness that was like going on around and just like kind of be in your little island. But yeah, so that's what I did.
Let us visit your island.
please add me. I don't know how to add people, but add me.
I actually found my Nintendo 3DS from like I don't know how many years ago, and I was like, you know what, I should start playing it because I mean, even if it like seems meaningless and it seems like you're not being really productive, like those little like just that time you take to play a game, and it just brings you like some joy, you know. And I'm like, you know what, like this is, you know, if that's joy to you, and I mean, you should definitely do it. You know, once in a while, whenever you have time, like, you know what, let me play Animal Crossing or let me play Mario Kart. Because, you know, it's just fun. It's just fun to do stuff that, you know, you wouldn't normally have time to do. And it's just, I don't know.
Oh my goodness, I've taken out my DS as well. I've Legend of Zelda again, so I think it's definitely a good way for some. I mean, sometimes I got too caught up with it and spent too much time, but it's good to like at least have some time just like resting, like fishing, like Abby said.
Yeah, and I mean, even getting excited over winning like a race, like I mean, it gets me excited. And it's just a game, you know. But if it brings me joy, I'm like, you know what, let me do this because it's just fun, and you should do fun stuff whenever you have time. Yeah, like it's really valid, and you should have space for that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, whoever has Animal Crossings, add me. But yeah, so does anyone feel like they want to add something else before we end?
Oh, I just want to say that I don't think I introduced myself. Sorry, everyone. I'm to this whole thing, but for those of you listening who can't see me, I am Daphne. I'm a senior, she, her pronouns, and I'm the one with the cap.
Love that. Yeah, so I loved hearing everyone's like forms of self-care and what they thought. I like that they were all so different, but like I feel like a lot of people can hopefully relate or feel inspired by one of the things that we talked about. And so yeah, feel free to again reach out if you have like any questions, concerns, want us to like talk about a topic through the Score Scripts Instagram or Gmail. You can get in touch with us that way. But yeah, look forward to our next episode coming out. We will hopefully have a name by then and a topic. But yeah, thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.